Hello everyone! Today, I will share with you my go-to low-carb master cookie dough recipe. It's a versatile recipe that can be used for both sweet and savory dishes. But today, I will show you the desserts that I made with this batch. I will show you my chocolate chip cookies, peanut butter filled cookies, jam filled cookies, chocolate ganache filled cookies, thumbprint cookies, and last but not the least, my favorite, shortbread cookies, which are crisp, buttery, and delicious. This versatile dough can be made ahead of time and can be stored in the freezer and then baked as and when you have a hankering for something sweet. And if you omit the vanilla and lessen or remove the sweetener, you can use it for savory dishes as well. Try rolling it thin, then fill it with jam and brie, and then bake it to make bite-sized baked brie. Feel free to experiment with the infinite possibilities. Let's get started. This cookie base has two elements: the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients. It's important to mix the dry ingredients very well first, and only then you can add the wet ingredients. The reason is you'd want to distribute the salt, baking powder, and other ingredients all throughout the dough. Otherwise, you might end up biting into unsavory lumps of salt, baking powder, and xanthan gum, which is not enjoyable at all. Let's start with the dry ingredients. In a food processor, add 1 cup finely ground almond flour, 2 tablespoons low-carb sweetener of choice. Here I'm using xylitol. 1 tablespoon coconut flour. 1/4 teaspoon xanthan gum, 1/4 teaspoon baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon pink Himalayan salt. And blitz to combine. Scrape the sides to make sure that it's mixed properly. However, do not overprocess, as it may turn into almond butter. This step took me around 30 seconds. You may do this by hand if you don't have a food processor. Just make sure to distribute all the ingredients properly and remove any lumps. Now, you can add the wet ingredients. Add 4 tablespoons or 56 grams of unsalted butter and 1 teaspoon vanilla. Blitz to combine. Here, I forgot to keep the butter, so I'm breaking it down with a spatula. And after that, the mixture comes together quite quickly. Do not overmix. The goal here is to just coat the dry ingredients with the cold butter. If you do it longer, this mixture will eventually turn into almond butter, making it too runny to form into shapes. This master cookie dough recipe is done. Wrap it in a cling film and then place in a Ziploc bag and store in the freezer until it's ready for use. Let's make chocolate chip cookies. Transfer your chilled dough into a bowl and add however much chocolate you like. Here, I chopped up 1 block or 10 grams of 85% dark chocolate to mix with half of the cookie dough I made earlier. This half batch yielded me 5 medium-sized cookies. So it's up to you how many pieces of cookies you want to make. Just make sure to adjust your oven temperature and cooking time to suit your preference. Scoop the cookie dough into a parchment-lined cookie sheet. Flatten the cookies with a spatula. And redistribute the chocolate chips if you want. Bake in a 180 degrees Celsius preheated oven for around 10 to 15 minutes, or until golden brown. I suggest to keep an eye on the color of your cookies, as each oven is unique. Undercooking it for a few minutes produces soft and chewier cookies, while overcooking for a few minutes produces crispier cookies. Both are good, so it really depends upon your preference. Once done, leave them on the tray for 5 to 10 minutes to cool down before serving. This allows the cookies to set and be firm enough to handle. Use an offset spatula to release the cookies from the parchment paper. This can be served immediately, or you can store it in an airtight container in the freezer. What I like to do is to freeze the baked cookies for around 30 minutes before digging in. This way, the buttery flavor and the flaky texture becomes more pronounced. And now, let's make shortbread cookies. Form the dough into a log, wrap it in a cling film, and freeze it for around 30 minutes to 1 hour to harden. Slice the logs into 1 cm thick cookies. Place the cookies onto a parchment-lined cookie sheet and bake at 150 degrees Celsius for around 25 to 30 minutes. Baking them on a lower temperature but for longer makes them crisp and perfectly golden. This pairs well with a cup of black coffee. Or you can serve this with ice cream. Here I made some low-carb banana rum flavored ice cream with salted caramel and roasted pecans. Let's move on to filled cookies. Here we are making peanut butter filled cookies. This peanut butter filling is made of smooth peanut butter, xylitol, which I've melted in the microwave with a tiny bit of water, vanilla, and then I sprinkled a bit of Celtic sea salt. Flatten a piece of cookie dough with the help of a plastic wrap to make it non-stick. And then place the filling in the center. Gently wrap the filling with the dough. Then brush the top with cream or egg wash. Then top with crushed nuts. Now let's take a look at the strawberry jam filled cookie. Place a tiny amount of the jam in the center and then gently wrap with a flattened cookie dough. I marked the top with the red food color to let me know what's inside. So just use the same process every time you make filled cookies. This one is chocolate ganache filled. Be gentle when shaping them into balls, as the dough is very fragile. You can place them in the freezer before baking so they won't easily lose their form. For this thumbprint cookie, I've used the same peanut butter filling that I've used earlier. Just press a ball of cookie dough with your thumb, and then you can fill it with anything you like. Lay them on a parchment-lined cookie sheet and bake in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes or until golden brown. So here are the baked cookies. I was able to make all of this with a batch of the Low Carb Master cookie dough recipe that I've shown here. These cookies must be stored in the freezer to ensure their crisp quality. I assure you that they can be served straight from the freezer without breaking your teeth. Here are a few storage tips that I want to highlight when making jam-filled cookies. These jam-filled cookies must be stored in the freezer in an airtight container, as the jam filling itself has a higher water content than the other denser fillings such as peanut butter or chocolate ganache. This extra moisture from the jam makes the cookie eventually soggy and fragile, as the water from the jam seeps through the entire cookie over the course of a few hours and stored only in the fridge. The freezer stops this from happening. It suspends the liquidy jam from flowing into the cookies. I also advise to serve the cookies straight out of the freezer. There's no need to defrost the cookies, as the filling remains pleasantly soft and not hard at all. The cookie itself remains crisp and surprisingly biteable. Here's an example of a pineapple jam-filled cookie served straight from the freezer. As you can see, the outside is still crisp and buttery, while the filling remains soft and chewy. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more low-carb and keto-friendly recipes and ideas.